Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Stihl MS290 chainsaw. We're going to install an oil pump in it. Now, this saw had been previously diagnosed with an oil pump problem. The pump in this one seized up, and it also took out the worm drive gear with it. So all we have to do is put a new pump in this and then give it a test run. Before I do that, though, we're going to take a little bit of carb cleaner here and clean this area up where the pump's going to go. Alright, so a couple of weeks ago we diagnosed this and we ordered a new pump for it. So these are the parts that we had removed back then, and we'll have to use most of this for putting it back together. But this here is the oiler drive gear. That was damaged when the pump seized up, so we got a new one of those. There you go. You can see the amount of plastic that's missing from that old one. And we have our new pump. Now there is one piece on the old pump that we have to harvest. It's the plastic discharge tube. And that piece is just pushed in and turned into place. Here I'm just taking the adjusting screw and finding the center position on it before I install it on the saw. So this is the discharge tube. It's got a little O-ring on it. We'll put some grease on there before we assemble it. Just push it into the pump and give it a turn and it'll stay in place. Then I like to put some grease on the gears of the pump itself. Alright, always making sure everything's clean before we reassemble it, right? So you got to kind of get the discharge tube in place and at the same time drop the pump over the center of the crankshaft. And then on the bottom of the pump is a barbed fitting for the feed hose from the oil tank. We'll put that on. And now we'll screw down the pump. Yeah, that guy has got them felling dogs sharpened razor sharp. They bite me a couple times on this repair. Alright, I like to put a little bit of grease on these worm drives as well. It does appear to be a bronze bushing, but a little bit of grease isn't going to hurt anything. So you see that wire kind of hanging off of that worm gear. I'll show you here in a minute how that is actually driven. We'll put some grease on our clutch needle bearing. Now on this drum, there's a little notch right there. And that wire on that worm gear has to land in that notch. And when the drum turns, then the oil pump operates. What I like to do is drop the drum into place over the wire, and then turn the drum a little bit and see if it turned the wire or not. And if it did, then I'm confident that I'm assembling it correctly. And then we can put our rim drive, our washer, and our E-clip on. Now when you install the E-clip, keep one finger on the E-clip as you're snapping it into place. Because if that plier slips and the E-clip wants to go flying, well, your finger will prevent that thing from launching across the shop. Alright, there's something in the fuel tank that's got my attention. I'm not sure what. Must not be too big of a concern because we're just dumping more fuel in it. And it looks like we got to put some bar oil in it too. And that's kind of obvious because with the pump removed, that oil feed hose was exposed, and if there was any oil in the tank,
Right.
it would have all leaked out.
Ow.
Bit me again. So that's all I got for you on the Stihl MS290 oil pump install. Thanks for watching. Later.